What are HLA-DQ2/DQ8 genes and their link to gluten? Imagine your immune system as a security team that keeps out harmful invaders. Sometimes, this team gets confused and mistakenly targets harmless substances like gluten. That's where HLA-DQ2 and HLA-DQ8 genes come into play. These genes are special markers on immune cells that help identify proteins in the body. They are part of a larger system called the human leukocyte antigen system, which is like a flag system for immune cells. These genes produce protein molecules called heterodimers. Think of these as tiny flags that present fragments of proteins, called antigens, to immune cells. When the immune system sees these flags, it decides whether to attack or ignore. In people with certain conditions, this process goes wrong. When it comes to gluten, these genes are involved in how the immune system reacts to gluten proteins found in wheat, barley, and rye. Most people with celiac disease carry the HLA-DQ2 gene. About 90% of celiac patients have this gene. The rest mostly have the HLA-DQ8 gene. These genes allow the immune system to recognize gluten fragments in the gut. When gluten is eaten, it gets chemically changed in the digestive system, creating modified peptides. The HLA-DQ2 and DQ8 molecules bind to these gluten peptides, especially the demetated ones, which are altered in a way that makes them more likely to trigger a response. Once bound, these gluten fragments activate specific immune cells called T cells. This activation causes inflammation and damage to the lining of the small intestine, which is a hallmark of celiac disease. But it's important to know that having these genes does not mean a person will definitely develop celiac disease. About 30 to 40% of the population carry HLA-DQ2 or DQ8, but only around 3% actually get the disease. This shows that other factors like environment, diet, and additional genes also influence the outcome. Knowing about these genes can be helpful when diagnosing gluten-related conditions. If someone tests negative for HLA-DQ2 and DQ8, celiac disease is very unlikely. But if they do carry these genes, it suggests a genetic predisposition, meaning they might develop symptoms if exposed to gluten. However, these genes are not linked to gluten sensitivity or wheat allergy, which are different conditions with separate causes. In the world of gluten-free living, understanding the role of HLA-DQ2 and DQ8 helps clarify why some people react to gluten while others do not. It guides testing and diagnosis, helping people make informed choices about their diet and health. Remember, these genes are part of the puzzle, but not the whole story of gluten reactions.